it and
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It's just gone after 10 o'clock, and we are now going to be speaking with Suleiman Patel. And he is with South Africa Incorporated. He is asking the all important question, where are we? Suleiman Patel, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam, Chuli, and lovely talking to you this morning. And
Okay.
salam, fellow listeners.
All right. You I share, I'm on one of the WhatsApp groups that you are on as well. And from time to time, you post a whole lot of issues. And I must say to you that it gets me really worried about the state of the nation, the state of our country. And not only do you talk a lot about the situation, how do we save our country, there's also issues around our deen and the fact, and I know you've raised this, and other people on that very same platform have raised the issue around how our young people seem to be drifting away from the deen. But let's leave that for another conversation. Let's focus on what's happening right now. The Business Forum has put out an invitation. There's 3 business dinners that's happening in Joburg, Pietermaritzburg, and Durban. You are the keynote speaker, and the all important question you are asking is, how do we save our country? How did this come about? For people who are going to be attending, who should be attending, and what do you hope the outcome is going to be?
Shukran, Julian, it's a very pertinent question, right? And it's the elephant in the room. I think if you look at every single social discussion and every single keyboard warrior discussion that's happening on the different platforms, everybody's very concerned about where we act as a country and what's happening. I think one can clearly see, that there's a concrete wall, and it's reinforced concrete, and we're hurtling to it as a country, at high speed. And the reality is this: that talk is cheap, right? We have to be doing something about it. And as activists, we've been given the ability and and the strength that we to say that we have to do something about it, because if we're not going to physically go and get aggregation done and alignment done, we're not going to go anywhere. So yes, we said that with 2024 around the corner, and if we understand that democracy, there's only 2 ways to bring about change. One, obviously, is through the ballot box, and the other, I don't even want to contemplate, because we see it in Africa every single day. When countries erupt into civil war. So the reality is, as we said, the ballot box is our opportunity, but we have to have an organized front to be able to do this. And if we really want to bring about change, we can't have minorities or splinter parties just coming in for the sake of democracy to be able to show change. We really need to be able to see what is the alternative democratically to be able to try and aggregate thought, protect minority interests, remove some of the shackles of obstacles and oppression that's happening in the country at the moment, economically, from a security point of view, education, every single domain. We see that there are serious lapses of service delivery, a lack of overall oversight. And yes, commissions are not going to help us. Commissions of inquiry are not going to help us. And if we constantly, every time, have a crisis, and we start running into commissions of inquiry, all it does is just perpetuate what we actually see. And that's not what we believe that this country needs right now. It needs an active turnaround plan, and the business community and the professional community are critical to this. And the idea is to then bring about an aggregation of thought to bring together the various brains trust that we have, and with regard to that, to try and define what is the best solution to be able to bring about a change in power play. So there's a different social dynamic and political dynamic post 2024. If we don't do that, then I think all of us can be ready to say we need to pack our bags for Perth, because the reality is this, that it's either that or we're going to hit into a concrete wall and just become like the rest of Africa. And it's a very, very sad thing to say as a ANC stalwart and activist. that unfortunately this is not the ANC that we know. The governing party has completely lost its way. And unfortunately, there's not many people speaking out about it, and everybody's quiet.
Okay, Suleiman, let me come in here. All right, let me come in here and play devil's advocate. The people that you are inviting to attend these talks, obviously, we don't have all the answers, and people could come up with amazing suggestions which could be workable. But you'll also have the naysayers perhaps suggesting that the tax base in South Africa is pretty small. You and I, and the likes of us. Does this mean that we're going to have to dig into our pockets once again and make the and start creating social change in the country? Will you respond by saying that's the price we'll have to pay to make South Africa livable and safer for all? Suleiman.
So I don't think it's. I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a major problem, Chile. I think the reality is that if we have aggregated thought and if we can get everybody to work as one cohesive, aligned force, I think miracles can happen. 1994 was a watershed year, and miracles did happen. 2024
Alhamdulillah.
is definitely going to be a watershed year, and I think that's where the opportunity comes in to bring about change. And I think the reality is this, that everybody wants to see a change that's positive, a change that's safe, a change that basically transfers power back into the hands of the majority of the country, in the interest of the people of the majority of the country, and not, okay, for the selfish interests of a few. And I think that is the important part that we have to try and work on. We don't want to be able to have draconian articles and books coming out about how things are rotten at state-owned enterprises or institutions or anything of that particular sort. No. The idea is that we have to now be able to say that what are the action steps that we're going to do to be able to save South Africa and to be able to turn around South Africa? And what are the options by being able to do this? If we're going to go in as minority funds and try and be able to do this, yes, we will achieve some numbers of potential political seats in the country by working in a very, very robust coalition. But that's not going to work. We really need to redefine ourselves and be able to say how can we ensure social justice for all by being able to come up with a different democratic dispensation to be able to bring about what was supposed to happen in 1994 with the original intent of the Freedom Charter, which has completely been misaligned and misled at this particular point in time in the interest of the few selfish people. And I
Okay.
think that's unfortunately.
Okay, you're not talking about forming a new political party. That's question number one. And then just talk us through when and where these talks are happening. And once again, whom are you hoping is going to be attending these talks?
The latter point that you made, do we need a political party and do we need a home politically to be able to ensure that you got your cross against the ballot box? Absolutely, because that's the only way you can effect democratic change, right? What the nature of that particular party would be is part of this process. So the Arabic word mashwara, which means consultation and a consultative forum, brings a lot of blessing in that particular process. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged it to say that whenever we have these type of crises, get together minds, like-minded people, and be able to then openly debate this and to be able to come up with ways around this. Because the first words of revelation to our beloved Habib Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was Iqra, read, learn, understanding, assimilate knowledge, and then apply. So if we're not going to do that, then obviously we're going to go astray. And that's the idea. So the idea is to be able to go through our professional brain trust, and that includes businessmen from every single area, professionals from every single area, and using that as a segment of thought to be able to say, guys, this is the problem statement where we're at. How do we know it can be fixed? And these are the options for fixing it. One of them could be a political party. One of them could be working with political parties. One of them could be a coalition of political parties.
Wow.
One coalition parties turn all of their vaccine into one box, which we can facilitate. And that's the idea. And the
Oh,
idea is to be able to say that you need a consistent thought process to be able to do this. And
all
that's the
right.
idea. And with that, you're on this road show. Okay?
Okay, Alhamdulillah. I look, I would say I look forward to attending, but I see you're having a talk in Johannesburg on the 17th, Pietermaritzburg and Durban, but the Johannesburg one is in the far east. It's in Boksburg. Why haven't you scheduled something more centrally in Johannesburg?
Okay, we had no. Actually, the question is, unfortunately, sometimes I wish I was a grabbing for water in my back and you could replicate yourself. It's not easy. The idea is, time and resources
Yeah.
are our biggest problem. So we try to maximize where we can. So yes, the session on the East End is to try and educate business on that. We already had a
Mm.
chapter discussion with some folks on the West End. Unfortunately, that was hosted in Greenside. We're now having another session that will be, I know we've had calls now from Rosebank, Stanton to do something. We're trying to have a session in Pretoria tomorrow with a few businessmen as well. So this will be an ongoing roadshow, right? But I think the idea is that we have to be ready. That the deadline is by the end of August. We need a strategy and technical plan on the ground because a local government elections and my suspicion is that, sorry, the provincial and national elections, my suspicion is that they'll be looking at the voters roll around the October this year. And in that particular case, you need to be ready whichever way you basically go as to how we're going to bring about that change at the ballot box and what frontier we're going to use and mechanism we're going to use to be able to overcome and ensure that we have a serious in terms of trying to basically bring about a viable opposition and change with regards to that. So for us, I think the idea is that we want to start gaining momentum on this particular roadshow. And like everything else, you have a spark, and once the spark starts, then obviously there'll be some smoke, and hopefully there'll be some fire. And the idea is that we put fire into the bellies of all the individuals to understand that within a democracy, we're going to have to go back down to becoming activists. We're going to have to go back down to say that we have to fight for a new level of freedom, and that is from a freedom from corruption, from a freedom from nepotism, from a freedom from all of these fields that are currently taking place. So these levels of freedoms come at a cost, and that means you're going to have to apply time, and you're going to have to do that. But at the same time, I think that we're going to try and use this to mobilize our youth who have lost it, because there's no youth formations, there's no political youth formations like we heard, or the various civil society organizations like we heard, like the civics, or even, for example, like the United Democratic Front that was there in the early part of the 80s or part of. So all of those options are able to try and mobilize that. And if we can start mobilizing it by bringing the professionals and the business forums in, and then thereafter moving it cascaded out to influencers through that particular process, I think we can quickly rally the guys into one level of thinking to say, guys, that change is needed, change is wanted now, and change should happen now, and change should be for the better. If we don't, come 2024, we'll all start meeting each other at the end of the airport, and you start seeing the rand going down to 22 and 24 rand to the dollar. By that time, you'll be carrying your bags full of currency, you could be worthless. So it's going to have to be very, very clear that you need definitely a very defined strategy, a technical plan, and you definitely need a defined intervention by the people, for the people to be able to think about that level of transformation, and that's what we're speaking at this point in time. So the broader mandate needs to be coming about, and it needs to be there. And it's going to take courage, right? You ace out, you're all alone, like we've seen in many occasions here. I'm sure you can attest to that. And we've been through that particular process, but the Almighty has always been on our side. And as long as we tie our camels, we believe we have to win and to come up with a solution for saving this country and saving the people of this country from the current trauma that they're going through and living through on a daily basis. It's a complete comedy of errors, but it's a tragedy that we have to overcome, and it's a tragedy that's man-made, and it's a tragedy because of apathy. And because we haven't got apathy, or we haven't been able to move and mobilize, we now need to be able to show for empathy for our children.
Okay.
together.
Sulaiman, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We're going to have to leave it there. Maybe we can pick up in a couple of weeks' time to hear where we're at with this initiative. It's very important indeed, and perhaps by way of another interview or two, we can get the momentum going, inshallah. But a brilliant initiative, and hopefully, we get our people coming on board, inshallah. We'll talk in the future. Go well, and salamu alaikum to you.
Salama and shukran jazeelan for the opportunity.
Okay, that was Suleiman Patel, the keynote speaker at these business forum meetings. The big question he's asking and the people behind him is, how do we save our country? For more information, please get hold of the Minara Chamber of Commerce. They'll be able to give you all of the information that is that you need to know. Till the next time, is always time to wrap up. Thank you for your company. A big shout out to our production team. Till tomorrow morning at the same time as always. Assalamu alaikum and khudafiz from me, Julie Ali.